The Arizona Cardinals, despite a nice fourth quarter defensively, blow yet another game. They've been eliminated from the playoffs, and is it time for heads to roll on this coaching staff? PHNX Cardinals postgame starts now. Welcome in live from Gila River Resorts and Casinos at Wild Horse Pass. The presenting sponsor here, it's the PHNX Cardinals post-game show. I'm Johnny Venerable, joined as always by my co-host, Brack. He's Brittan Golden, former Arizona Cardinal wide receiver. Cardinals, tell me if you heard this before, blow a game in the fourth quarter. They lose 20-17 at Tampa Bay, fall to a putrid, stink-worthy 3-9 on the season, thus finally putting Cardinal fans out of their misery. They are eliminated from postseason contention. Is it time for heads to roll? We break it all down, Bo.
Yeah, we absolutely do. This is also brought to you by our friends over at Bet365. Never ordinary. Download the Bet365 app today. Use the code PHNX365. If you deposit $10, you bet $5, you get $150. And bonus bets, win or lose. And if you're a Cardinals fan, you're a big fat loser.
Yeah.
9 in the last 10 weeks. After a 2-0 start, this team has fallen to 3-9 with their latest 20-17 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it wasn't without opportunities throughout this game. From the first offensive series to the final offensive series, where it was a last-ditch effort that went out with a whimper.
Yeah.
Pathetic performance, pathetic attempt, as the Cardinals had it at 3rd and 2, then 4th and 2, a series removed from a 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. It was the short yardage on late downs that cost this team its ability to at least tie this game, let alone just win this game. It's another one where you come away just frustrated with how things went down. And it's not just, final score. It's how we got there.
They've normalized losing Brittan Golden. We expect them to lose now. And the toughest part for any Cardinal fan to stomach is, like Jacksonville last week, this is a Bucs team that was prepared to lose today. This is a Bucs team that was not playing great. They dropped a touchdown. They had bad penalties, more so than the Cardinals. And the Cardinals just felt like they were going through the motions. They had bad tackling defensively. But let's stick with this theme of this offense. At no point, whether it was Jacoby Brissett's interception, Bam Knight's fumble, negative plays, right short of the sticks, did it ever feel like this offense was truly going to make this a game?
No, and like you said, this is a Tampa team that beat themselves for the most part in this game. I mean, they had the 2 big drop passes, one for a touchdown. There was a lot of penalties on the side for the Tampa Bay today that took away touchdowns, right? You lost one with Rashad White. You lost one with Bucky Irving. Took touchdowns off the board in situations like that, right? And as an offense for the Cardinals, it just did not, like you said, did not seem like there was any – there's just no sense of urgency with this offense.
No.
It doesn't matter what the situation is. There's no sense of urgency with this offense. And it flows over into your actual offensive scheme, right? First drive of the game, like you said, scripted.
Yep.
It worked.
Yep.
Right? You scripted in quick passes, get the ball out of his hands, get guys open early. You move the football down the field, you had a costly interception. Right? And then for the rest of the game, there was no script for that. It was now we got to figure out plays to call based on down and distance and where we're at in the game. And Drew Petzing has continuously shown that he cannot do that.
Right.
For 3 seasons, he cannot call plays based off down and distances. He cannot call plays based off situations. There's no sense of urgency at the end of half, at the end of game, when time is crucial, when you're losing a football game. It's everything about this offense just screams to everybody like we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
right.
It's tough. I mean, you give up 7 points in the second half, really, because of a bad 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, just kind of a scenario. You gift the Bucs the ball on your 39-yard line. They don't get a single yard thanks to your defense. They just kick it for a long 57-yard field goal, and that's the difference in this game.
Yeah.
That's the difference in this game. And, like, you're going to look at the total numbers. You're going to look at everything. And on paper, it's probably not going to tell you, like, how they truly lost this. But it's in about as frustrating a fashion of the 9 losses we've endured and had to watch as it's gotten throughout this season.
It's coaching, offensive coaching, ineptitude. They weren't able to mitigate the pass rush in the first half. You've got self-inflicted turnovers. That's not happening to Tampa Bay. They just couldn't sustain drives when they needed to. They have been a terrible red zone team, not just this year, but for 3 years under Drew Petzing. I said it during the broadcast. We put it on Twitter every week.
Yeah.
Like, Jonathan Gannon, wake up. How many games can you afford to let Drew Petzing lose for you? Like, even if Jonathan Gannon is retained in January, I think you're going to go into your 4th year with one of the worst winning percentages of any head coach going into a 4th year. And it's just like, well, I got to protect my friend. It's like, well, your friend is blowing you games. Like, this is the first time where you've been able to say, even with, like, bad tackling, the defense did its job today. Gave up 20 points, should have given up less. And they've been horrendous. They've been a horrendous product offensively. And you could say, like, well, they're playing a backup quarterback, their choice. Oh, they're playing backup offensive linemen. It's been mostly healthy. Hey, they've missed some players offensively. You know, Marv left this game, but you've had every pass catcher available. Bam Knight's capable. I can make an argument you got more talent on offense than the defense has right now when you're starting guys like Cody Simon. So for me, it's like Tampa Bay has been horrendous defensively for the last month. They've given up 28, 34, 44 in 3 straight losses. You can't score 20 points today?
Right.
I don't feel bad for them because they're enabling this coordinator who clearly he just doesn't have the goods to call plays. Like, it's okay to say, I like this person, I like their football acumen, he's good with the players, he's nice to everybody. Can he call play? Is he a winner for you? He's lost you unequivocally these last 2 games. You want to put away San Francisco and Seattle and say the whole team imploded? Okay, these last 2 games have been right there for you to win, and the offense is completely imploded when you had to have it.
And you have no, like we talked about it on that live stream. Like, I don't even know if this offense believes that they can score points.
Right.
Right now, you've got Trey McBride. Don't get me wrong. Trey McBride thinks and knows that he's the best player on that field when he walks out there, right? Mm-hmm. And he should. That's how great players, that's how they continuously are elite. But, like, outside of that, you kind of see it, right? The 4th and 1 play call, right? I mean, did it look like guys were ready to block 100%?
Right.
No, it didn't. But it comes down to that when we talked about this is where you start losing your locker room. This is where you start losing it, where guys, they hear the play call in the huddle, and they already don't believe in the success of that play.
Right.
Yep. Breaking news here, the Jets have beaten the Atlanta Falcons. We'll keep you posted on that. Go ahead, Bo.
Yeah, it's how do we look at that? That's good for the Cardinals to get up the draft board.
Right.
Bad as far as keeping that Falcons pick that belongs to the Rams down the draft board. Obviously, we'll get into all the scenarios as this late in the season presents. I mean, number one, what it presented as far as how it pertains to the Cardinals, eliminated officially, mercifully. Any mathematical chance of getting anywhere, it's done. It's over. Yeah. It's like this is kind of the final nail in the coffin that we all saw it. Nobody was like turning a blind eye to it. Everybody kind of understood and saw the writing on the wall as far as where this team was going. But it doesn't mean that on a game by game basis that we're not still going to have our hearts rip out of our chest cavity by how this team just kind of finds ways to lose. I mean, it was a collective effort today. I mean, as far as how you look at it as a whole, pick on the opening drive where you're moving the ball with ease, moving at 70 yards down the field. You're hitting Marv consistently. You're hitting Trey consistently, and then you throw a bad ball from Brissett, and next thing you know, the Bucs are taking over.
Yeah.
And then then it's just inept offense for the rest of the half until you get 3 before you go to the locker room. Then you got the fumble. Doesn't help. Like, your 2 opening drives set the tone. Like, I'll put that on the players.
Yeah.
But as you scratch, you claw, your defense gives you an opportunity to get back in this game. You score. You finally, get going offensively. And then, you freeze. You choke. And these crucial third and fourth down situations twice.
Right.
And we're also looking at it, it's like that 4th and 2, like why don't the play call, like just call the timeout then.
Right. Yeah. You don't even use your timeout?
You go into your grave with your timeout.
You saved the timeout instead of using it before the 2-minute warning. And then you go into your final drive. And you've got 4th down in short, but you go with the play call.
Yeah.
Right? You look out there, even if you didn't like it, like I just don't understand. I think if I'm Jacoby in that situation and I don't feel 100% with that play call, you've got to call the timeout.
Yeah.
Forget what coach has to say at that point because they're clearly not helping.
We got to get to our X Factor player of the game. He was fantastic, especially in the first half. It's Josh Sweat, 2 sacks, 11 sacks on the season, 3 tackles, TFL. I mean, he's great. The defense was good. He was great. He's out there covering Buka in the flat. I mean, he's everywhere. He's been one of the few bright spots for this Cardinal team this season. Again, defense played well enough to win. Had a couple key spots at the end of the game. Didn't matter. And I think, Jonathan Gannon, I didn't see quit from the defense. I think you go back to that offensive play and Trey didn't block anybody. It's like when the coaches don't believe or the players don't believe in the coaching and the messaging, they're not going to quit. I'm not going to say Trey McBride's a quitter by any stretch, but I don't know if you're going to get everything out of them when they don't believe in what you're doing. When you're trying to sweep play on 4th and 1 that is snuffed out, when you're trying, a deep bomb on 3rd and 1 for the second consecutive game. The messaging's falling on deaf ears. Let's get your super chats here. Red $4.99. Remember when the Bears interviewed Petzing, how I wish they could have took him from us.
They knew from the beginning. They interviewed and said, nah.
That was a favor from his agent, by the way.
They needed a warm-up for, the Ben Johnson interview. They just needed to get a couple of questions they wanted to flush out so they could make sure they get it right with Ben Johnson, who got him to where they wanted to be. Number 1 seed in the NFL right now, in the NFC, I should say. How about James jumping in?
That is insane.
This game lost on the awful third and 4th and 1 play calls. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I don't think you could avoid that.
Changes the whole game, right?
Deep to Wilson. It's like, okay, well, we ask you to throw and target to Wilson, but do it in the fashion that's been successful. It hasn't been successful, like trying to push it downfield into double coverage, and then on that final play, it just didn't seem like you were setting him up to get any kind of separation on that. I don't know. It's
you
just
want
like
targets. You want targets for the guy that's come through for you the last 2 weeks, but you don't want bad targets.
Right. And I don't want to. I'll let you finish your thought. But I don't want to Jacoby Brissett free on these either.
No,
those are bad decisions.
They're horrible. The interception was a bad decision.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there was 2 overthrows. I mean, Marv completely cooked McCollum on that go route
touchdown
right there. And I mean, that was an easy walk-in touchdown. That's a bad throw. There was a couple other bad throws with overthrows, but I mean, it's just to that point where you're just going back and yes, Jacoby is a backup. He's a backup for a reason.
Yeah.
But
let's get some more super chats. Uncle Fester called his best game of the year, according to Chaz. Manny, this has soft tanking written all over it. Not when people's jobs are on the line. If this was, year 1, we were trying to tank for Marv, but this is year 3. People's livelihoods are at stake. That's why it's crazy that they're enabling people that are counterproductive on getting dubs on football Sundays. Michael, unless useless, gutless organization. They have turned their fan base against them. The fan base is numb. When you lose 9 of 10, I just every Sunday you can and they're playing the Rams next week. They're playing Houston after that. These were winnable games, and you were absolutely blowing it. Desert Vulture, only constant is losing. Laughing at playoffs, yeah. We put it in the show tile because it's official, but for Cardinal fans, it's been done long ago. DW, $9.99, thank you so much. Monty is just as accountable, being the boss's boss and watching nothing change. He took a few obvious players, even Kime did that. He has as much blame for not taking matters into his own hands. I think if you're Monty Austinford, you know you're safe, so you're not forcing anything. And Michael Bidwell employed Steve Kime for 10 years. So Monty Austinford, to me, his picks have been, I would say, solid. I think he's done a solid job. But I think he's let people like Drew influence some of his picks with the Trey Bensons of the world, and then of course we talked about it. I can't think of my Tip Ryman You know, and Gannon and company, they liked a lot of these corners. Elijah Jones, Max Melton. These guys aren't making an impact for them. So we're going to jump back into your Super Chats. Keep them coming. We've got almost 800 watching live. Hit that like button. We're just getting ramped up here live from Gila. It's PHNX. Again, big thanks to everybody watching right now. Big thanks to everybody who came out to Gila River Resorts and Casinos at Wild Horse Pass. Got to chat with Wendy after the show.
Yeah.
Capacity crowd here on hand. It was great. I love coming out of here. I just wish the Cardinals would make it a fun little afternoon or morning in this case. Again, check us out. We're going to be here in back-to-back weeks. Arizona Cardinals host the LA Rams next weekend. We will be here for that at Gila. Nobody does it better. Lounge at either the AAA Four Diamonds Resorts and let relaxation take charge, or go all in. 4,500 slots, live table games, and catch all the action at the largest sportsbook casino in AZ. You do you. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com, Bo.
I need a little boost this morning on my way in, and what are you? Who answered the bell? Who answered the call? Circle K.
Ooh.
Circle K, Inner Circle member. Got this coffee for free, by the way.
Free
Also,
99.
save big at the pump whenever I fill up with gas. 5 cents, 10 cents off. How about 40 cents off on fuel days? Did I mention it's free to become a member of the Inner Circle?
Oh, yeah.
Just download the app. All you have to do, you enter your phone number, use that to plug in at the pump, and you're saving money. You're getting options to save at America's Stir Shop. What are you doing right now? You're just burning money. You can save on great promotions like a 79-cent Polar Pop, 99-cent Froster, 30 cents per gallon when you buy 12 to 16-ounce Celsius, which is great energy right there. Get 2 free Coke, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, 12 packs when you buy 2. It's unbelievable deals, plus the meal deal matrices, $3 meal deals, $4 meal deals, $5 meal deals. Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for all the details.
We thank everybody watching live right now. Hit that like button. We're going to jump back into your Super Chats here in just a minute, but let's count some cards here on a PHNX post-game show. Offensive style, Trey McBride did have a touchdown. Tight end number 1 continues his all-pro season, 8 catches, 9 targets, 82 yards. Jacoby Brissett, solid, not great, but again, he's a backup. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 key interception, 100-plus passer rating. Had 2 sacks, none of which came in the second half. So shout out to Isaiah Adams taking over for Will Hernandez on right guard. And then MHJ was poised to go over 100 yards, we assumed.
Right.
Had a heel injury, had to leave the game in the fourth quarter. Status unknown on MHJ right now. Of course, missed the last 2 games with that appendicitis. So, again, unfortunate for Marv. Hope he's okay and hope he can go next week.
Yeah, we'll see what his status is going to be. Not expecting too much information before, first practice of the week, an install on Wednesday. But it was a nice return for Marvin Harrison Jr. But, seeing him go out there and try to fight, and they kept on going back and forth. Like, he was going in and out of the huddle, on and off the playing field. He was clearly in pain as far as his heel goes. And, he was willing to put his body on the line, obviously his physical well-being, and then, he's pushing out there, Brittan, and then the play caller's not matching – guys like Marv and how they're trying to leave it all out there on the field. Marv's out there, they're trying to move the football, do anything they can, and then 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, the play calling falls short.
Yeah, and it's tough as a player, especially when you're out. You're putting everything on the line.
Yeah.
You can barely walk, and you're finding ways to be like, look, I can't walk, I can barely run, I'm trying to make plays for you. He had a couple catches, too, while he was limping. I mean, you'd like to see him just, if it's bad, if you can't help yourself go, then just – kind of take yourself out. But I can see the toughness and where he wants to come out there and try to make plays happen. All right, but, you got the same thing with Trey McBride. Trey McBride's going to go out there, whether he's, completely hurt or incapacitated, he's going to find a way to try to get out there and make plays. But I agree, when the play calling on offense just does not mimic the effort that your players are trying to give you, it makes it really, really hard to win.
Update from Teo Mackey, VazCentral.com. He's at the game and got a quote from Jonathan Gannon. Here's the quote. I'm sure this will be received well. On the 3rd and 1 play to go deep to Michael Wilson, double coverage. Jonathan Gannon, quote, said he loved the play call.
He's going to love the TV from his couch next football season if he doesn't come out here and condemn something.
What benefit does he, even if you did love it, don't say that. Why are you saying that? If you love the play call, first of all, that's insane. It's insane to love that play call again this week. If you loved it, fine. Don't say that. Just say, you know what? We liked it theoretically. It didn't work. Maybe we do some things differently. Don't triple down on it. I can't defend it anymore. It's so bad. Take the microphone away.
You've run yourself out of a job.
Stop it.
It's done. Like, at this point, I just don't understand why or how.
Jonathan Gannon is trending on Twitter in Arizona.
He's got to go, man.
Come on. Don't say that. I can appreciate you wanting to stand up for your guy. What benefit do you get from that?
2 years ago. Standing up for your guy was okay 2 years ago because he had Josh Dobbs starting the quarterback, and you went from there. Like, I get standing up for him in that aspect.
Right.
But this is year 3. You had your franchise quarterback for the last 2 years. Didn't pan out. All right. You went to a backup. Hey, you're putting up a lot of yards, garbage time yards.
Right.
But okay. I mean, but you're still not winning football games.
Right.
You're putting yourself in position because your defense is finding ways to get off the field at times. They're still giving up way too much, but they're finding ways to keep you in this football game. And your offense is so inept that it doesn't matter what they do.
I mean, like, how you're over here. You're being uncharacteristically quiet.
I'm thinking of, like, how can they just sabotage the presser? Like, can they just, like, cut the mic? What can they do, Noah?
Do you think he was trolling? Do you think he said that on
purpose?
purpose?
No, I think he was being serious.
He can't be. Yeah, he can't be being serious.
You can't be trolling at this point.
There were times where BA or any coach, you put any coach at the dais there, and they can be hyperbolic, and they can, those accusations can fly. But at some point, you got to do yourself a favor, and not say you love it. You could say, we wish we had executed that play better.
Right.
Or we needed to put ourselves in a better position to move the chains. Instead, I love going for it because it was a missed opportunity. It was a crucial play that the Cardinals didn't get done. And, to go out there and be on the complete opposite side of things and say, I love that. That's what I love. That's one of the things that I covet in this life. That's what I want.
It wasn't even close to being completed.
No, it wasn't.
The best part, somebody just put in the chat, I need a woman that's as loyal as Gannon.
I know. Let's get to your super chats, assuming they're safe for work here. Desert Vulture, our coaches have destroyed this season. The coaches have blown it. The coaching staff, the enablement of the offensive staff, the allowing departure of Clayton Adams. The Cardinals are an embarrassment. If you look at the teams that are atop the draft, we're going to look at it later in the show. It's all the teams we expected to suck. Giants, Saints, Titans, Raiders, maybe not Raiders,
Browns.
Cleveland, Jets, all the bad teams. And then there are the Cardinals. It's like, Jesus, what are we doing?
And those teams that you mentioned, they're devoid of talent.
Right.
The Cardinals aren't devoid of talent.
No, they have a lot of good players.
That's what makes this 100 times more frustrating than the team that's undermanned going out there and just being bad. Let's keep it going. How about the bearded red? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I love it.
Kyler Murray should be starting next week, and Drew Petzing fired. Jacoby is not a winning quarterback, like it or not.
Kyler Murray will never play another down for this franchise. They are moving forward with the idea that Kyler Murray will be traded or released this offseason. They're not going to put Kyler out there for a regime that's going to have to blow up at minimum their offensive staff. They made the decision to pivot off of Kyler. And again, things will come out this offseason. I'm not saying that's the decision we would make collectively, but it's just the decision they made. They've made their bed, and they've won one game since soft benching Kyler Murray. Connor, $2. Stick with us. We'll turn it around. You're turning it to people turning off the TV, turning off your product here. Chaz, if Drew was a true friend, he would fire himself. I agree with that. Remove yourself from the situation.
I mean, stop allowing basically your head coach to take the fall for your ineptitude.
Yeah.
Like, it's just he's literally taking shots because you can't do your job.
Right.
The intuition that he has, or lack thereof, on third and fourth and short, like we were talking about on the watch along, Brittan. Like, it was okay. It's 4th and 1. We know Vita Vea is a big time problem in the middle of that defense. So how are they going to combat that? How are they going to circumvent that? And they go with a little toss outside that they were lucky enough to get even close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
I mean,
it doesn't make a lot of sense at all. I mean, the play if you're going to attempt to run the football on 4th and 1, you just have to deal with Vita Vea in there and either go with the sneak
you were doing it already.
or run the dive.
Yeah, I mean, look at how they were running. They actually ran the
dive
ball
has been
effectively.
fine today. Like, you ran the ball downhill between the tackles with Bam Knight today.
You ran it better than they did.
Very successfully.
You ran it better than they did.
Hey, 19 carries for 95 yards. That's 5 yards a clip.
The play, you just needed 1 yard. You're like, let's get cute. Ole outside.
Yeah,
Jonathan Castro, 199. There's no way that we're trying to win these games.
I don't think we are either. I think everybody's just.
Yeah, but like you can do that when you're rebuilding. Like your team was supposed to be good this year. Plex 199. A JG Drew Petzing experiment over yet? I want off this ride, brother. We got 5 more weeks of this. We got 2 games against the Rams, 1 game against Houston, Joe Burrow in Cincy. It's the Atlanta Falcons or bust right now, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you're scoring at home, Carolina beating the LA Rams, I think that finale for the Rams just became that much more important for them to win that game.
Yeah, especially if you want that number 1 seed.
Yeah, I'm looking at the opportunity for the Cardinals to win more games. I think they've got one opportunity. It's in Glendale in December. Keith Davis, we were eliminated on February 14, 2023, the day we hired Gannon. Jesus.
It's harsh. It's harsh. And also another update from Gannon via Darren Urban.
Yeah.
Gannon saying he's not sure if Kyler Murray's practice window will be open tomorrow.
No, it won't be.
Mr. Grimm, $5. Kyler Murray for Las Vegas' first round this year. Probably a little too rich for Vegas.
I don't think anybody's giving up a first round pick.
I think they give up, hopefully, a day 2 pick. The red bearded. Bidwell should be forced to sell by the NFL. Roger Goodell and Michael Bidwell are very close.
You're gonna have to find something real bad.
Nah, we don't do that. We don't do that here. Miles, $20. I'm no longer going to spend emotional energy blaming Petzing. Gannon continues to embrace, empower, and enable. Thank you so much, by the way, for the $20. Very generous. Enable Drew. Gannon is complacent going down with the ship, and I feel no sympathy for the bed JG has made himself. I can't argue with that. Like, if you're enabling bad habits, at some point it's a you problem.
Hyper Bream. These are the facts. Bidwell won't fire Gannon. Gannon won't fire Petzing until one of those changes. This is our team.
Mm-hmm. Drew is not.
This is our cards.
Drew's not going to be retained.
We love you.
But but let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Drew Petzing is not going to be retained in January. You can take that to the bank. But people want blood right now, and I'm sure Jonathan Gannon is like, well, I don't see the benefit of just firing somebody to fire somebody. And to that I say, then you clearly do not have a grasp on the optics of how this season has gone. Mm-hmm. If you feel like that your coaching staff is above changes in season for a staff that has lost 9 of 10, then you've lost the plot completely. That is a huge problem. For you to sit there and say, my staff is bulletproof, is Teflon through this, and it's a you problem, Cardinal fans, because I'm going to scoff at the notion that I have to fire anybody. That's a you problem. Jeff Rogers should be gone. Drew Petzing should have been gone a month ago to 6 weeks ago. Like, great, you're going to fire him in January. It's like you're going to have 3 or 4 wins at that point. That's you should be embarrassed by that. Yeah. I'm embarrassed for you.
And in the fashion that they went down, 0-7 in games decided by 4 or fewer points, and you'll see the mistakes. That 0-7 is ridden with mistake after miscue. I mean, it's not like the players are going out there and throwing turnovers. It's just you're not making the plays when they're there. You're not managing things correctly. You're just putting yourself in a position to suffer excruciating loss after excruciating loss. Let's keep it going, these Super Chats, before we go out to break here shortly. Let's bang one of them out. How about Trinell? If we draft a new quarterback, sample Dante Moore, I don't want Petzing his hands on him at all.
No.
Unfortunately, we need to get a new quarterback route in the draft with lots of QB questions.
They're going to have a shot. I think there's a good chance that they only win one more game or they lose out. So if you're talking about having 3 or 4 wins, you're going to have a real shot. I was skeptical a month ago. I thought they'd get to six wins. They're not getting to 5 wins. There's one winnable game left.
They'll be lucky to get to 4 wins.
Right. The Atlanta game, I mean, at that point, you might just need to put the bat signal up for Slovis. We're going to take a quick break. We're coming back for your Super Chats. Hit that like button. We got almost 900 watching live. We're just getting started. It's PHNX. Somebody asked about it for their sanity on the watch along, and I respect it. Johnny, what's that edible company you guys work with? It's called Pure, and they're elite. Located in Flagstaff originally. They're now in Phoenix. They've got a ton of locations statewide. They're going to hook you up with what you need. 130 dispensaries to be exact across Arizona. And how about their Pure Edibles on Mother Road collaboration? Hot damn, I can't wait to try some. Who says happy hour has to end with Noble Roads, new Tower Station IPA all in one? It's happy hour time. See what I did there? All the time. The new offering captures the crisp, citrus, and piney hops of Arizona's favorite IPA, but with a smooth THC twist, all in one device. No pouring, no waiting, just good tasting, high whenever you want it. If you're in Arizona, swing by one of their local dispensaries. Check them out right now. It's Pure Edibles.
You can go see the Cardinals in person for a low price of $28 with our friends over at Game Time. They're always going to have the best price for you. You can go tomorrow's WWE Monday Night Raw for $45 at Desert Diamond Arena. Shane Gillis later this week. How about $85? You can go watch him at Mortgage Match. And then the Suns and Warriors, that's going down in a couple weeks from now, $68. Johnny, how about Lady Gaga next year? You want to go? You're part
electric.
of the.
That sounds like
electric.
it's on his Pandora.
Hey. Might be one of his stations. Great point. 221, or how about Trans-Siberian Orchestra? That's kind of a staple this time of year. $69. Regardless, the best way you're going to get into these shows, these events you want to go see, Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. And then, of course, just sign up and create your account. Use the code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code PHNX. $20 off tap ticket. Go. Download the Game Time app today.
Hit that like button. Subscribe to PHNX Sports. Let's get to 500 likes on this post-game show. How about our play of the game? It's not a great one. It's a big-time loser play of the game. It's for the love of the game via our friends at the Arizona Lottery. It's 4th and 1, the outside sweep play, in which the Cardinals literally wet the bed. And unfortunately right now, every game, there is a play like that encapsulated. And it just makes this whole thing that much harder to digest. You know, when you played for Bruce Arians, you could think about those plays to like the over-the-top play to John Brown against the Eagles, right? The Andre Ellington play in Seattle to win in 2015, right? You think about you had that block to spring him on that play. There was always those kind of plays, right? A strip sack from Dwight Freeney. Who's going to step up and make a play? For this Cardinal team, for this regime, who's going to blow the game, right? What play call is going to blow it? What execution is going to make it, irrelevant for this team to get a dub? And unfortunately, that's the makeup. That's the makeup of this team right now. Who's going to blow it for this team?
Yeah, and that's the difference, right? You just don't see, there's just not opportunities. And really, it starts with the play calling. There's no opportunities for guys to step up and make plays, right? Because you have a play call on 4th and 1 where you pitch it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You've run the ball successfully for the first time really all season today between the tackles.
Right.
And then you line up on 4th and 1 after we just threw it. There was a non-competitive deep ball.
Yeah.
The play before, it wasn't even competitive. It wasn't close to a defensive back or a receiver. Mm-hmm. And then you backdoor it and you run a pitch play. You keep him 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage when you pitch it, and the Buccaneers defense was in the backfield before he had the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
And it's just you're not giving guys any opportunity to make those plays. Right? It's just it starts with the coaching staff. Now, granted, the players still have to execute the play.
Yeah.
Understandable. But when there's not even a chance to execute it successfully, then there's where your problem lies.
It's just error after error today.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity after missed opportunity. From the jump, the pick in the first half, like the first series, missing Marv. I think that needs to be examined a little bit more. Because we talk about just dead deep balls from the very get-go. That was actually one of the few ones that I've seen nearly executed flawlessly if you just put a better throw on it. I'm going to look at Jacoby Brissett's game today, and I'm going to say that this is probably one of his poorer performances. I think there was just a couple key plays that he missed out there. But it doesn't help when you're not putting the rest of your guys in situations for success.
It almost felt like he was rattled after that pick and really never recovered.
Yeah. It took him It took him easily the rest of the first half to shake it.
Yeah, especially with that pressure he's facing the second quarter. Let's count some. Let's do by the numbers here on a post-game show brought to you by our friends at Desert Financial. I mean, like Cardinals, every week we look at this.
Feels like it's skewed.
Every week they dominate the box score, and then even the turnovers, like from last week to this week, like not great. This team with the devoid of I think high-level coaching right now is not going to win any games, losing the turnover margin, and even last week they didn't win. So for me, it's like I'm impressed by the effort. I'm glad to see they didn't quit, but I think if we're having that conversation of like, hey, the Cardinals didn't quit today, what are we doing? Like you've made your bed. The numbers are irrelevant. You can't win games that are close. Like that, I don't really need to see the numbers, frankly, with this regime right now because like, Brittan, the box score is never going to tell me how well they played.
Well, nothing about the stat sheet has told us anything.
Right.
I mean, if you're looking at stats, like this team has put up, since Jacoby has been the quarterback, you've put up well over 300 yards per game of offense.
Right.
But you have 0 wins to show for it.
Right. Outside of the Dallas game.
Outside of the Dallas game. But, I mean, there's nothing. It's all like, yes, you can say – they moved the ball during. I mean, it was a close game for most of the time today. Like you can play that card, but it's never in crunch time. It's never when it matters.
No.
Yeah.
And then when it does matter, you do nothing. Like
right.
the final drive we had today, and you got 8 yards in the last drive of the game, if that.
Yeah.
It's gross to watch.
It is. I feel like outside of the final 2 minutes of the game. And probably the first couple minutes of the game because the Cardinals have to obviously build be behind, and the Cardinals have to fight back. Like Jacoby Brissett in between those times is like prime Brady all of a sudden.
Right.
But then when it comes down to it, as far as trying to make plays in crunch time and when things matter, when you can either take a lead and put the pressure on from the jump, or at the end, it's just you're just not getting the job done when you need to get it done. I mean, I just see Jacoby's Jacoby, and I think that's just how it is, and that's what you're going to have to accept. You can look at all the gaudy numbers you want, and how the offense is performing versus where it was with Kyler Murray, but the reality is, Jacoby Brissett's now 1-6 as the Cardinal starter, and it's just this team just finds ways week after week, new ways to lose, and it's just that's what they are right now. They are exactly what their record is.
Yep. No, it's easy to piece together. Let's get to this next one, $4.99. Time for the Sun Devils and Ducks NHL hockey. Then ASU baseball can't come soon enough. I'm ready for the rigors of here's what I want, my guy. I want change this offseason. I don't want to recognize a lot of what we're watching right now. I don't want it. I don't want to have to play 6 to 8 months of hopium because we've been sold you don't get 3 years and then just get to sit on your hands at an offseason. The Cardinals need major changes. Hey, Joe, $4.99. Fan for 37 years this season is our last. More examples like Joe, thank you, Joe, for that, are going to force Michael Bidwell's hand one way or the other. Rogers Cromartie, $5. How does Michael Bidwell still show his face in public? I'd be too embarrassed to leave my house if I was responsible for this level of ineptitude. He is a polarizing figure here locally. I do believe that he had the best intentions hiring Gannon and Austin Ford, and I think it just hasn't worked out. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm sure unless he's just completely staying removed from it, that, he feels like the rug's been pulled out from under him because everything he had seen through the first 2 seasons of this, as far as tearing it down and building it back up and going from 4 wins to 8 wins, that he felt like that trajectory was going to continue, and then things that, like this has been the season from hell, and how do you deal with that? How do you diagnose that? And it's really exposing some things that this coaching staff some where they fall short in multiple areas. So it's going to be interesting to see how ownership, how they try to keep their distance from it, right? Because everybody was asking president ownership to not meddle with the football operations, and now he's staying away from it. And now people are saying, well, you can't do that. You got to make a move now. You got to force their hand. So it's really going to be fascinating to see how the next 5 weeks play out, and then how Black Monday plays out, and then how things transpire after that.
Steel Fit, $10. I don't even watch the games anymore. I just watch the score and Twitter notifications from Johnny, not my head coach, and say to my wife, we're losing, babe. Checks out cards, still ass, fire everyone. I mean, Brittan Golden, there is a process where you just have kind of a numbness with this fan base right now. And if you're Michael Bidwell, that's one thing you can't have. You want people to be passionate one way or the other. But right now, Cardinal fans, it's almost like they're dead inside. That's how I feel.
Yeah. It is. And as an owner, if you own anything, we'll just say it's not even the football team, but anything you own that has to put out a positive product,
right?
And you are consistently putting out a bad product, it's to the point to where, I mean, you're 3 seasons in now.
Yeah.
Right, and yes, you had a little bit of hope last year. You got up, you won some games, you had an opportunity for a wild card spot until you didn't.
Right.
Until you just went, peed down your leg.
Apart, yep.
But then you come into year 3 with all these expectations. With 4 wins year 1, you go into 8 wins year 2. Everybody's like, this is a team maybe that can win 10 games.
Right.
And then you get here, and you're lucky to have 3.
Right.
I mean, you
could have lost every game but the Dallas game.
You easily should have lost Carolina. You blew Tennessee. I mean, you've lost 7. What is that, 7 games now with less than 4 points?
Yeah.
And, you've had 7 different opportunities to be looking at 10 wins already this season. Instead, you're down.
Zeke Combs, $2. Laugh out loud. He knew he liked it. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, I mean.
He liked it as soon as it happened.
We get that disingenuous answer as far as the 4th or the 3rd and 1 play call
it's a
there.
Terrible answer.
Right, it's terrible. And then we get, I'm following, Theo Mackey on Twitter at Theo_Mackey, and he said emotional Darius Robinson in the locker room said, quote, "We've only won 3 games since September. That's terrible. It starts with myself. I'm not who I thought I was." Starting to wear on these players.
It is. The players, I mean, we haven't seen Calais make an impact. I mean, that's why I gave Josh Sweat player of the game. It's like everybody else, there's some lifeless performances right now, no doubt about it. Let's get back to these Super Chats if we could. Desert Vulture, Gannon provoking us as if we don't understand football. I think there's a lot of that. You have to empower your fan base. Your fan base has more information than they've ever had as a casual or diehard fan. You can't feed them garbage when you're watching this kind of product. Galactic Gridiron, $4.99. Yeah, the Cards won't be winning for a while. It's been over a decade. We've actually been active participants in the postseason. They need a firm reset. I mean, the good news is there's talent here. There's talent here for somebody to win. But right now, I mean, what are you supposed to? This coaching staff isn't getting it done.
Right.
They're just not getting it done, and you can't tell me otherwise. They're losing to teams that are just asking to be beaten. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with your Super Chats plus a look. Cardinals may have gotten some help atop the draft standings. Slowly but surely, we chug along here. It's PHNX. Man, I'm fired up right now with our friends at Shopify. Again, this Black Friday, this holiday season, what kind of dreams did you have when you were a kid? What did you want to be when you were younger? How about now? Starting your own business with Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, and 10%, not 5, not 6, 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. Shopify even powers the PHNX merch store right now, where you can get this gear right here, this sweatshirt, this hat right here. They've got you covered with website creations, product descriptions, emails. Get ready to shop with our friends at Shopify. Cha-ching, turn your business into cold, hard cash with Shopify at your side. Sign up with $1 per month trial starting today. Shopify.com/AllCity. That's Shopify.com/AllCity. Cha-ching.
You about to start checking off those gifts off your list as you prepare for less than, 30 days, shopping days till Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there. I think we're about 27 days, 26 days. You're going to be spending some money. Might as well, check in with your checking account and start to get some perks with all the money you're about to spend on your family and friends. Get the account with built-in benefits from Mountain America's MyStyle checking account that has the perks just for you. You can enjoy restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, and offers on travel and events, and so much more. Make My Style your lifestyle with Mountain America Credit Union. You can visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. It's required, insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no-cost registration activation. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply, but you're going to be spending money this holiday season, getting those gifts, rack up those perks with the My Style lifestyle checking account from Mountain America Credit Union.
What are the chances, I just thought about this, that Drew Petzing is not fired, but they demote him in season and they just say, hey, this week so-and-so is going to call plays?
Yeah, I don't know if they would announce that publicly.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
They definitely, yeah.
You know, you
From
wouldn't
what
say
we've
like
seen,
Drew Terrell's going to call plays?
I mean,
from what we've seen, they might. That could possibly happen, but they're not going to announce it.
Right.
They won't let that be known.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to get their like
walking papers.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get the fan base is not going to receive anything that they're going to say this is acceptable for what I've had to endure from our standpoint, what we've been exposed to. And the falling short, Brittan dropping the stat 0-7 in 4 games decided by 4 or less, and the crucial mistakes that went into it, and everything that puts you eliminated from postseason play in Week 13. Nobody's getting like. There's not going to be anything you say. Well, I can deal with that. That makes sense to me.
Right.
They're just they're just going to continue the definition of insanity.
Because if it was a player problem, he would be released.
Right. Cut.
We've already seen
within days.
We've seen guys benched already
within the day. That's what it's one of those things where it's like when it's a player, it's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Cut him. He's not helping us out. Mm-hmm. Cut him. Get rid of him. We'll find somebody else to do it. But from a coaching standpoint, right? It's maybe we'll figure it out next week. It's like you've had over 36 months of chances to figure it out, and you just can't do it.
It feels like I'm going to pull up this super chat. I think it's 2-1 up, Noah. Been a fan for 21 years in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I'm out after – you're hemorrhaging fans. And like that to me is where you have to get involved if you're Monty Ossenfort or Michael Bidwell.
Switch the coaching thing to players, contract-wise. As a coach – your money's not guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. That'd be
if you switch, that's my thing. You're so worried about players getting money, but if you switch coaches' contracts to like players' contracts and said, your money's not guaranteed unless it's stated in your contract that it's guaranteed.
And what are the coaches going to do? Not coach?
That's my thing. You got to figure something out at that point because now you get released like a player does, and now you don't have a job.
Keith Davis, very generous. $50. Unbelievable. Bo and Brittan, Merry Christmas, guys. This has become my favorite show. Love the humor and the honesty. Unbelievable.
We appreciate you, Keith. Yeah, man. That's you getting this, keeping us going with stuff like that. Gives us life, makes us want to continue to fire up these mics, get in front of the camera, and hopefully, continue to be a part of this community and a voice of this community, and continue to voice where we're upset and where you want to see change.
Let's get back to these super chats. Then we're going to dive into the draft order. There was some movement, and we want to address that. Nikki, $5. Someone needs to go to HR because Gannon and Drew, because this defense may be soft, they have getting physical. Jesus Christ, I can't even finish these super chats.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, Nikki. Joey, $4.99. You guys are better men than me. Talking about this garbage team this long has got to be excruciating.
It's tough.
It's our team though. This is my team till I'm dead. So they may kill me this season with this level of play. Connor, $5. Petzing could call a QB sneak on 4th and 8, and JG would say he loved it.
Yeah.
Probably.
At this point, yeah.
Just a little fall forward for a yard, come up 7 yards short.
Yep.
Frank Paddock jumping in, $9.99. Thank you, Frank. Missouri owes Arizona reparations for shipping this team to Arizona. New York Cardinals fans since 75.
Wow.
Send me some money also.
Frank, we appreciate you. You sound like my dad, Midwestern ties, and grew up watching the St. Louis football Cardinals. Didn't win a lot of games in St. Louis, and the big reason why they left. They wanted a new stadium. Super chat, $5 from our guy Shaft. Miss you today, Shaft. JG on Drew, I think it was his best game called this season. This is why we're moving up the draft board each week. Drew kills us, and JG agrees with him. Yeah. I think we're moving up the draft board because they're not well coached. They're not a well coached team.
Yeah. How about I'm Ryan Hale? JG is so frustrating, continues to back Petzing. Play calling is bad, especially in the clutch. And Rylan has let us down in back-to-back games now. Think about that, too. Like, Rylan has had some key misses that have come back to bite this team in the ass. But when you just don't play consistent football, you're not consistently playing complementary football, you're in tight games.
Right.
And when you do miss field goals, when you do squander opportunities to put up points, they're always going to be glaring. There hasn't been, like, outside of Dallas, this has just been a grind of a season. Every game is grinded out, win or lose. It's tight because they don't set themselves up to gain double, like two score leads or anything like that.
No, they're not well run.
No.
Justin Herbert out of the game. It's
Trey
Trey
Lance.
Lance. Love that for the Raiders. Let's go,
Future
Raiders.
Cardinal
Come on,
quarterback.
Raiders. Shut your mouth right now. Ron Mahoney, 3788, $10. Very kind. Thank you. The only coach in the salary cap era to survive 2 seasons of 4-13 plus another losing season. Noel, Fisher, Philbin. Only others who has 3 losing seasons. Forget Putz. JG must go. We broke it down. Bo pulled some great stats. When was that? On Friday's show.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a coach, really, outside of Gus Bradley in the last, 12, 13 years that's gotten 3+ years and a losing record each year.
Right. No, it's a short list. It's pretty unprecedented, and there's not a whole lot of success. You see Chuck Noll in that. It's like that was a different era of football back then. He did go on to find success. So did Tom Landry, but that was just different times. Like when in the salary cap era, it's just that you usually can learn enough about your coach, and if they don't start off with success within the first 3 years, you're usually not going to find it. The 90s Poppy, coaching staff shaved months off my life. Tank time.
Tank away. Thank you very much, Brittan Golden. Tivato, $5. Gannonisms. Love the play call. I thought Drew called a great game. Wish we could have had a couple plays back. To the fans, please stick with us. Well, that latter is not a Gannonism. My co-host, Bo Brock, asked him a messaging to the fans. That's why he said that. Otherwise, I think he should start every presser with an apology to the fans, but he does not do that.
Yeah. How about Rogers Camardi? Who knew taking a quarterback coach from Cleveland Browns and making him your OC wouldn't work out? Shocking.
Yeah.
The Browns, stable offensive juggernaut. Jalen Blair, 115, $4.99. 5 games seems low to pull the plug on a QB. If he was on that short of a leash, he should have moved on last offseason. Jalen, I agree with you. If you were this down on him, if the relationship was not where it needed to be, you could have traded Kyler Murray and done something that resembled competence. This just feels so poorly handled all the way around. And there's going to be some stuff that comes out this offseason on both sides. They wanted a divorce from each other, is how I'll put it. James, $2. Gannon, 2-4 without Murray, only beat Dallas twice. 2-14, excuse me. Love to be 2-4.
How would you like to beat Dallas? The only team that's lost.
Team that's lost again.
I mean, the Titans are going to go 1-16, and their only win is going to be against the Arizona Cardinals.
The Titans, since beating the Cardinals, have lost 7 straight.
They're terrible.
They are one Cardinals epic collapse from a defeated season, a fully defeated season. They should be 0-12.
Let's get a couple more, and then we'll take a break. Noah Baharo, $2. Watch Stefanski today. Screwed if he's hired. They're not hiring Stefanski. Pretty well sourced Stefanski relationship with Petzing. There are names that are going to emerge. We'll release those names when we have an opportunity to. But we got to make sure JG's back, too, which I mean, guys, are they going to lose out? If they lose out, what are we doing here? We're going to have to update our head. I reported Gannon was safe. What was that, 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was after he met with
leadership
post-game.
Leadership, yeah.
That was after there was a second ass
the
kicking.
San Francisco game. And they've lost these next 2 games, and it's like I think they thought they'd win these games. Lamar, $5. I'm a Panthers and Bears bandwagon rider now if the Cardinals. I'm happy for our friends at CHGO. They've endured a lot of crap the last couple of years, and we're very much in it right now. And the promise of hope is still there. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. We're going to break down the updated draft board, plus your Super Chats. It's PHNX. But first, let me tell you about our friends at Rally House. Rally House Company in Clutch. I've already been to Rally House several times this holiday season, loading up my kids' stocking And they've got the elite gear, not only for Cardinals, but ASU, U of A. Get ready for spring training with Diamondbacks and, of course, Sun season. How about gearing up on some Suns gear as they make a run, hopefully for a playoff berth in 2026? It's the only place that carries Arizona sports teams year-round, fully stocked and ready to go. They had the first rivalry jerseys of anybody else in the Valley. Find your local Rally House location. Shop their entire product assortment online. It's rallyhouse.com. Match your game day vibe with a smile. Check them out today.
The best thing for a brutal loss is our friends over at Three Amigos Tequila. Brittany was saying it. Yeah, I mean, that was some tasty, locally sourced tequila. Around here, we cheer hard, we celebrate harder, and then also we commiserate. We have a drink, a little tear in our tequila.
Yes, sir.
We keep it local. Three Amigos Tequila is the staple for Arizona fans, win or lose. If you're a Sun Devils fan, probably was the right drink after a tough Territorial Cup loss. If you're a Wildcats fan, it probably never tasted better if you hosted that cup on Friday night. And then today, the Cardinals losing. Family-owned right here in the Valley, founded in 1939, crafted in Mexico, 100% Blue Weber agave. It's award-winning for a reason. Smooth, bold, and, of course, made for the moments that matter. What makes Three Amigos different? It's easy. It's the agave, the farmer themselves. No outsourcing needed. They create the true farm-to-glass tequila. So this season, this holiday season, you're getting together, tailgate, toast, and celebrate with the Valley's favorite tequila, Three Amigos.
Arizona Cardinals are 0 for 12 in their last 12 games against teams with winning records under this regime. If I have my math correct, they entered the bye week last year 6-4. They finished 2-5, which means right now they are 5-14 dating back to last season.
Wow. That's there's some damning stats. I was just compiling them. You know, like 3-9 in the season. The team has lost 3 straight. Their second straight 3 or more game losing streak. They endured a 5-game losing skid.
Yeah.
They dropped 9 of 10. They lost to the 1-11 Titans. Became the first team to lose 3 straight games by leading by 7 going into the fourth quarter. They're 0-7 in games decided by 4 or fewer points. I mean, it is just they're the first team in the last 25 years out of 51 to lose a game that they won the turnover battle by 4.
Yep.
I mean,
they do everything that encapsulates losing.
Yeah.
That's who they are. They encapsulate losing as a franchise, as a regime. And I saw somebody put it on Twitter, Brittan. It's like Steve Wilkes got fired for a very similar season. And it was like he was cutting players off his –
and he didn't even have a quarterback.
He had no talent. That was one of the worst teams in league history.
Steve Wilkes was a fall guy for inheriting a team that had no quarterback.
Yeah.
Had nothing going for him.
Yeah.
And then for you to do that and fire him after year 1 and then come back and allow this nonsense that we've been watching for 3 seasons, have 3 seasons worth of atrocious football, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you needed a fall guy for you. You knew what was happening when you hired Steve Wilkes.
Yeah.
You just needed somebody that you could put in position to just take care of this season. We know we're going to suck. We know we don't have enough talent on either side to win games. This is what we're going to do.
A couple more super chats, and we're going to jump into the draft order. Jay Underhill, $4.99. The talent on this team continues to flash, but players can't overcome their coaches. Have to get a new staff this offseason. I think that's the consensus. Certainly, Red Bearded one. Appreciate you, $4.99. I'm 20 years STM and this season ticket holder, I'm guessing. And this season combined with this team not caring about their season ticket holders might make this our last. This team doesn't care about fans. I mean, that is the quickest way.
They built casitas.
That is the quickest way to lose lose. If you want change to this staff, you have to be able to show it with your support on game day, with merch. Please don't turn us off. We'll still be around. We're the accountability police, but no doubt about it. Shaft, $5. Didn't Britney Spears write a song for us? Oops, I did it again. I bet it's Putzing's favorite song. 5 more weeks of this with only one potential win, Atlanta. And I think, like, Cardinal fans don't want that win. Cardinal fans want to see this through with a loss and get a top 5 pick and get a quarterback. And I can't say I blame them. All right, let's take a look. Speaking of the draft order, updated draft order via our friends at Tankathon right now. Now, there are still some games to be played. Right now, as we speak, Las Vegas is playing the Chargers, and Pete Carroll and company are losing 7-0. But Trey Lance is playing in this game right now. Justin Herbert has been knocked out. The Jets have moved up. The Jets have won. They are 3-9 on the season. So the Cardinals picking 7 still remains. The Cardinals are being screwed by the strength of schedule at 567. But the Jets moving up gives the Cardinals a chance. Here's why. I'm going to break it down. Here are the Jets' remaining games on the schedule this season. Everybody take note of this. The Jets still play the Dolphins and the Saints. They play the Bills in the finale. We'll see if the Bills, as Justin Herbert returns and has a catch down to the 1-yard line. The Jets now have a potential to win at least one more game, as the Seahawks just scored on an Ernest Jones pick 6. New Orleans, they look dead in the water, but again, they play the Jets. So it's not crazy to think that the Cardinals could move up in the top 5 if they lose out. I mean, again, it would revolve around them, Bo, losing out. I don't think it's possible for the Cardinals to win a game and get a top 5 pick. But next week, this is important. The Browns have 3 wins. Mm-hmm. Who do they play next week? The Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
So things are starting to fall into place here. They also play the Bungles the last week of the season. Cardinals lose out. I think they get a top 5 pick.
I hate this.
I don't even want to. Gosh.
What do you want to do?
I feel gross. But look, now it's become that necessary evil, right? As you start to root for teams that higher than you on the draft board, but you have to understand that you have to continue to endure the losing. And it's not just the losing of, I'll just find something else to do with my Sunday. You have to sit there for 60 minutes and just continue to get kicked to the nether regions. That's what it is watching this team.
What does a top 5 pick do for you?
We got a chance to get a quarterback.
If you don't have a coaching staff that can.
Well, let's see what the staff look. I don't know what the staff looks like.
None of us do, though. But at this point,
I want to be able.
We don't even know if they're going to fire Petzing.
Well, no, they are. He's gone.
We've been saying this.
Here's what I'm going to tell you: if they have a top 5 pick, and you're trying to court future head coaches, doesn't that become a much more enticing proposition?
It does with the roster as it stands right now. But look, it's still going to be a tough sell. It
is. How about this right now? Kyle Odegaard going at it with Benjamin Albright on Twitter. Kyle Odegaard basically saying that he expects people to be fired, and then Benjamin Albright basically saying, I'll take that action. How much? Kyle Odegaard saying, what kind of odds are you giving? I assume you trust your own reporting, so 10-1 seems fair. So you've got Kyle Odegaard, who very much feels like everybody should be fired and Kyler should remain. And then Albright has been consistent, saying that Jonathan Gannon will return and he won't be fired. So again, Albright was going at it respectfully with people on Twitter over the weekend, Cardinal fans, because he's come to the defense of Jonathan Gannon and he's come to the defense of what the rebuild represents. But I can trust and understand and respect what he's doing. We've had him on the show. We'll have him on the show again. We're in unprecedented territory here with the amount of losses that are piling up and the fact that you're like guaranteed a 4th year. It's like, how are you guaranteed anything?
Yeah, no, nothing should be guaranteed. And that's why that's where we've reached just kind of rare air in the worst way, right? Where it just feels like when somebody looks at this team, they watch how they perform week in and week out, and then they also take into consideration where the current regime is as far as wins and losses and how many losses have piled up now. What do you do? Like, most signs point to you move off of that current regime. That's just like that. That's just pretty sensible.
If we didn't know what we knew, and that he was given a thumbs up 2 weeks ago, I would think it would be a done deal at this point. Shane Lame, $4.99. I can't believe they lost this team. Another winnable game lost, and somehow JG and Drew Petzing will still have their jobs. JG, do the fans a favor and resign. Jonathan Gannon won't survive this offseason at this rate. Can you imagine, they lose out and, it's just like they have their presser at the end of the year and, what happens in January? What happens in February, March, April?
Nobody's giving this there's no fan right now that's going to, if this is the regime that you're seeing in January, February, March, throughout this entire offseason, nobody's tuning into that. Nobody's going to believe, because we've heard the same nonsense for 3 years in the offseason. Well, we're looking real good in this offseason, ready to put a product on the field. And you ain't putting nothing on the field.
It's a tough sell. It's about as tough a sell as the NFL could create. Desert Vulture, love K1 or hate him, his agent will never let him lace up his cleats for the Cardinals again.
No, he won't. That's the smartest thing his agent would do. Because at what point, as an agent, well, one, you get paid off of your player as an agent. I am not going to allow, even if it was what you need, I'm not going to allow him to go back out there and play for this poverty.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a part of this equation that I think is overlooked or discounted. It's just like, regardless of what you think about Kyler Murray, and we've been a big pro Kyler Murray show throughout. I think that there's enough there that you should understand that. The people that have come to their own conclusions the last couple months, that they're just wrong. But Drew Petzing didn't exactly set Kyler Murray up for success the first 5 games of the season. It wasn't a productive offense for him. It wasn't setting himself up to even put on display, his talents. The offensive line is another part of that, how poorly things were going with the offensive line and how they continued to trend the wrong direction in Kyler Murray's absence. Like, everything should point to, like, what would he benefit from getting back in there?
Benjamin Albright, about as blunt as you can make it on Twitter just now. Fans need to get prepared. He's coming back with a playoff mandate and a new quarterback. If he loses out, they're going to lose out. They're going to have.
Listen.
And then what is he going to do? He's going to have a top 5 pick, and it's like you got to make the playoff with Ty Simpson in the NFC West?
The playoff mandate is wild.
How are you going to make the playoffs next year?
If you're Benjamin Albright, even the fact of mentioning the word playoffs in a tweet about next season.
You've lost 9 of 10. What? All right, Buwanaki, $5. It could be Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow out there, and Drew can still call plays as if Dobbs was out there.
It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback.
Not even those four we overcome it 100%. The play call on 4th and 2. Get the hell out of here.
Like, nobody has the appetite for it. Like, okay, so say that's true, and we're really just not even counting.
These games don't even matter.
These don't count. 2023 didn't count.
Right.
Actual NFL games that should count don't count. So we're just going to turn a blind eye to that, and then we look forward to the offseason and 2026 and beyond. And so you've got to say, okay, so it's JG, and then he's got to bring in a veteran offensive play caller, and then couple him with a quarterback that is going to be a rookie and probably going to take his lumps. So
you should have an expectation of making the playoffs
with a playoff mandate, like in the NFC West. Sure, you've got like the 4th place schedule, but still, it's not. It doesn't add up. Like, the math doesn't math there.
You got 3 teams in this division with 8 wins.
They're going to win. They're all going to win 10-plus games this year.
Yeah. You're going to have 3 10-win teams in your division.
And you're going to win 3 games.
And you're going to win 3 football games. And you've got the nerve to get on Twitter and even mention the word playoff.
You got to make up 7 games. That'll do it. Lamar, $5. Is it time to bring in a veteran head coach with a winning record and playoff experience? Or you get a hot candidate like Robert Saleh, who's been a head coach before, and I'm a huge Robert Saleh guy, if you can't tell. Ad Noble. We gave them at 1-11 Tennessee, their only win. That's probably going to be the biggest damning thing that happened this year.
It's going to be the only win that Tennessee has all season long, and it came at the hands of the Cardinals.
Probably the last game for Kyler Murray wearing a Cardinals uniform there, too.
Somebody just texted me this. Brandon Staley got fired after the 14th game in his 3rd season.
Yeah.
His record was 24-24.
Yeah.
Gannon's 15-31. Staley went 9-8, 10-7, 5-9. Got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Now, roster was different.
Different.
He had Herbert. We gave Gannon the benefit of the doubt after that first year. We're like, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to build off of it.
Brian P. They just gave Petzing play card and his headset that's not plugged in like a 3-year-old. LOL, I'd be dying. That's pure entertainment.
Neo Man, $4.99. I suspect foul play. Drew must have dirt on JG. There's zero logical reason Drew hasn't been fired yet. Any other team in the league would have fired Drew. Here's what I can tell you. I believe that Jonathan Gannon believes that Drew Petzing's been dealt a bad hand given, like, some injuries. But I think they feel like the offensive line has regressed and that it's sabotaged Drew. I don't think they have the self-awareness to look in the mirror and say, the offensive line has been this way for 2 or 3 years, but it's been coached up by a coach you let leave. And I think by saying that the offensive line has regressed, it's a way to cover your ass that you didn't keep the right coach. I believe that's what's happening.
Yeah. Now, this doesn't add insult to injury. Chris Carrasco says, was anybody else annoyed that the Bucs honored Simeon Rice the day that the Cards came into town? I mean, he was ours first, LOL. Yes.
I mean, honestly, if we're going to go off of that, that was planned.
It's dirty.
100% planned. Why not? You didn't want him. We took him. He had great success with us. Did a lot of good things for us. Why not? We'll put him in when you come to town, right? And then beat you. Like,
he was part of that Super Bowl winning team. Made most of his money as an NFL player with the Bucs. But he did, he was drafted out of Illinois by the Cardinals. He was right there. Was it Sim and Eric Swan to start? And they were just racking up sacks when Swan was healthy. And then he took the free agent deal, went to Tampa.
Galactic Gridiron, $1.99. Dan Lanning for our new coach next year. No thanks. I don't want a college coach. $19.99, $20. Been a loyal Cardinal fan since '98. I'm 36 now, living in Oklahoma, and have never been more embarrassed to be a Cardinals fan. Bo, JV, and BG are the only thing helping get through this horrid season. I've lost all hope for this franchise. They're an embarrassment. We appreciate you, my guy.
Yeah.
There will be brighter days ahead, but they are an outright embarrassment. Everybody should be ashamed, and they should apologize to their fans. And the fact that they're doubling down, very much spitting in the face of their fans with some of these responses, it's really disappointing.
Well,
I mean, it's really disappointing.
It is. And, we talk about the uphill climb and how daunting it is just getting to the finish line of the 2025 season and going into the 2026 offseason, and how long this journey through the darkness is truly going to last. There's not going to be optimism like there has been the last 2 off seasons.
Right.
Like, hey, we thought we saw what with our eyes and how they competed with these teams, even though they didn't have the same amount of talent on the roster. We thought we saw a good coaching staff, at least in some departments, to keep this team competitive. Now you don't have any kind of confidence in that coaching staff. And if Benjamin Albright is true, if my co-host reporting remains true, and things don't change, it's going to be a sludge of an offseason to try to conjure up confidence and optimism about this team.
Here's another text. Matt Eberflus got the 12th game of his 3rd season. His record, 14-32, 3-14, 7-10, then 4-8. Fired last year.
This is not me talking.
Right.
This is me trying to either
come from the organization.
Come from the organization.
We need that. We need that perspective.
2023. We said in the pregame show. I don't think that this organization is operating off 2023 had any impact on how this team is operating last season or this season.
Right.
I think that they were given about as long of a leash, an unprecedented length of leash as far as new regimes go, being GM and head coach. But it doesn't mean that they aren't going to have to make some changes in this offseason. I think anybody would be naive to think that, even the people involved. But, yeah, I mean, when you start to put together and compile those numbers, they're as bad as anybody. Flus and Brandon Staley look like a walk through the park compared to those.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not Flus. Flus was pretty bad.
Mondo, $2. Summary for the season, remember the Titans. I want to pour bleach in my eyes. That game... That was the beginning of the end, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Douglas, $5. What would it take for Gannon to get fired next season with a rookie QB? I mean, I would expect him, if it looks like flipping Dable and it's like you're getting Ty Simpson killed, like Jackson Dart. Yeah. I mean, I think this is trending we're just headed toward disaster, and that shouldn't be the case. We should get a palate cleanser. You should have if you're not showing improvement, you should get a palate cleanser. Yeah. AZ, $5. JG only survives as he was specifically told to throw in the season. No, I think it's more so AZ. He was told that he would get a mulligan because of the circumstances with Kyler and just how the ball has bounced this year. Now, here's what I say. Today was a good day for Jonathan Gannon in the sense that his defense played well and they didn't quit.
Yeah.
And he can point to the offense. I want to jump to the Super Chats, the last one from Jalen Blair saying, Albright's reporting that it's not guaranteed we get a new OC. I will tell you it's guaranteed. I will come on the show and eat all the crow. he's not being retained. I know who the new coordinator candidates could be. We're going to talk about that. He's not being retained. They're going to get destroyed offensively against the Rams and the Texans. And maybe I don't know, maybe the Falcons. But like this is only the beginning of the complete offensive erosion. So I don't think there's any guarantee Jacoby Brissett makes it through this gauntlet, given how bad the offensive line is. I don't hope for that. So I'll tell you right now, if you take anything we say to heart on this podcast, they will have a new offensive coordinator minimum. But for a lot of people, that's not enough, and I can understand that. Rob, $5. What? Not
rhetorical.
Rhetorical, excuse me, big word. Why would a head coach want to come here? Any actual attraction for a head coaching job? Well, I mean, you'll have money, you'll have a roster, you'll have a top 5 pick. It's still a head coaching job. They got Gannon take this job. He's coming off a Super Bowl.
Well, it does. Like the head coaching part, it's hard to not want to take it because, again, going back to contracts, you sign a contract, you getting paid whether you are good
life-changing
or whether you suck.
Yeah.
Like you're going to make $15 to $20 million to be bad. That's what we're doing. Yeah. That's why that's got to be something that changes in this game. Coaches' contracts need to be considered the same as player contracts and be based off of productivity. Because if this is what you're putting out for productivity, you are getting fired in year one.
If you think you're worth a lick of salt as a head coach, as far as looking at this roster and the talent, you should say, hey, I can go there and I can work with that. Especially, like Brittan's saying, like with that golden parachute that's there for all these coaches if they get fired, if they get bounced, that they get every single dime.
They're sitting at home getting paid millions of dollars. Yeah. Meanwhile, if you're a player, and just say you're a bottom of the barrel player.
Yeah.
You're a minimum guy, and this is your livelihood. And one wrong thing happens for you, they're like, well, we can't count on him. Boom. Yeah.
Doc,
but you done lost everything.
$2. We riot if Gannon ain't fired. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Shane, what free agent QB or rookie is getting us to the postseason? That's a billion-dollar question. Kyler Murray? They're not doing that, but Kyler Murray? Chris, $10. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate all the support, my guy. If we keep JG next year and we have a top 5 pick, do we really want him drafting us a player in the top 5? Well, he's not picking. Austin Ford will pick the quarterback. And let's just say it's a QB and we have another bad year, then what sets us back for years again? Well, if you hit on the quarterback, you hit on the quarterback.
Right.
Like, that to me, I do think that, and I'm not saying you're saying this, Chris, I think that argument is a little bit, I don't know, faulty in the sense that if you get a good quarterback, like Caleb Williams having success this year with Ben Johnson. He had Matt Eberflus last year. It's turning out okay.
Yeah.
Like, we can see those kind of things. Like, J.J. McCarthy with Kevin O'Connell just can't play. I think if you're a good quarterback, the right coaching is going to get it out of you. And, again, Jonathan Gannon's not picking this quarterback. Like, Monty Ossenfort's going to pick him.
There are, as things stand right now, it seems like it's daunting, Chris, where you look at the draft class and you look at the free agent class or the trade market. I think that it's every offseason it does. Opportunities present themselves. Monty Ossenfort needs to be in a position to be aggressive when the opportunity comes up. And I think it's good that some of the quarterbacks in this class that felt like it was falling short are starting to kind of come back alive.
Yeah.
That's good news for the Arizona Cardinals because right now we're looking at like there was like fear porn out there like 2. Now I think you could say 3.
3 to 4.
Could you get 4?
Yeah. Wob Dog, $5. This is what happens when you hire a guy who turns up to OC interviews wearing all those 1980 orange hats and eating a grilled cheese. That's interesting. I love that. Lord, $2. 0-7 and 4 points or less games is ridiculous. They'll set an NFL record if they do it. No team has gone 0-8, according to Teo Mackey.
Wow.
And here's what I'll tell you.
It's like hold my beer.
I guarantee you they'll sit there at the end of the year and say, we were close. We look at all these one-score, 4-point games. But when you're 0-7, potentially 0-8 or worse, that shows us you can't win those games. That's not a thing to say to the fans like, look, we're this close.
Well, they said that after they went 2-5 down the stretch last year. We had Monty Ossenfort on the podium at the Combine. He's like,
right.
Well, we lost 3 of those 5 by one-score games. The NFL, 70% of the games are one-score games.
Yeah, this is not. You don't want that number out there. That just shows people you can't coach in the fourth quarter, Brittan.
And you're 0-7 in 1 year. Like, I mean, I'm sure you can go back and find all the statistics in
Right.
the last 3 years of how many games they've lost by one score. But, like, in one season, 4 points or less, you are 0-7. You've told everyone, like you said, 70% of games in the NFL are decided by one score. Like, what you have to understand is that means any given Sunday, it's a one-score game. And you've telling that your fan base that we're going to be on the losing end of the one score every time we walk out to play.
Jalen Blair, $4.99. Reality is we will be a version of the 25 Giants of a rookie QB, and JG will be fired within the first 8 games next year. I'm hoping they can just get the rookie quarterback. Let's see how the draft dominoes fall here. We got a long way to go these last 5 weeks. We're going to be covering it, but the coordinators that Gannon wants to bring in, I will say I like the names, but again, like it's not going to matter if this team just falls flat on their face otherwise in the fourth quarter. Sports Hero, $5. Please no Ty Simpson. It's way overrated and inexperienced. Mendoza is a genius, has the X factor. Mendoza or try a free agent quarterback. Mendoza's going to go. I mean, the Titans are going to have the first overall pick. So, I mean, can you trade up to 1? Do you want to trade up to 1? But I'm with you. Mendoza is a genius. I would take him in a heartbeat. Lamar, $5. Every team that beat the Cardinals are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Cardinals are going to tell you that, except for the Titans. Except for the Titans. I mean, the Cowboys aren't guaranteed to make the playoffs.
The way that offense is playing right now.
For sure. All right, we wrap up here on PHNX Cardinals. Big thanks to everybody that watched. Reminder, we got our Black Friday sale going on throughout this weekend. Cyber Monday tomorrow. Die Hard membership's going to be slashed as low as, I think, $26. So, again, check them out. Check out our guy Alex at gophnx.com. Cranking out phenomenal work. Huge thank you to everybody. Pre-halftime, post-game show. This team may stink, but you guys are the #1 fan base for a reason. Our watch-along, huge success. We had a great time. And, again, big thanks to everybody that came out here at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Hit that like button, subscribe, click that join button, become a member. We're back on a Big Fat Loser Monday. For Bo, Brittan, Noah, I'm Johnny Venerable. We'll see you then. Take care.
We all silly like the mayor.